Hey everybody, I hope you're having an incredible day. Welcome to the Keto Mom page. My name is Stephanie. And I have to apologize. I did not come on here yesterday on Sunday to go over our book, but my hope is that you read it. So technically we should have gone through chapter 13 yesterday and chapter 14 today. I'm going to go through chapter 13 today and chapter 14 tonight so that you don't get overwhelmed, but I want you to stay on track. I really want you to understand, I know sometimes people dive into a habit or dive into reading or whatever their goal is, right? And if there's a day they miss or they get frustrated or something happens, they just give up. I don't ever want you to give up. And I say this often, the only way you fail is if you quit. And so while yesterday I did not come on here and, those are my dogs. We have 4 dogs. Welcome to my home. We've got 4 dogs, 4 kids. We're a homeschool family by choice. And we have been sharing tips and tricks and keto ideas for the last 6 years. So I looked at my page. We officially started the Keto Mom page, I think it was July 1st. I'm pretty sure it was July 1st established. And so we're coming up on celebrating 6 years of sharing our life with you. And what I've been doing over the last couple months is my goal is to help people understand the power of mindset that has to do with their lifestyle. Maybe you say diet. Because if you get this right and you are working towards a better you, whether you want fat loss or you want to work on, becoming stronger, you want to implement some systems and habits to make sure you're working out every day or whatever it is, I think really what I've realized is the power of self-development and working on you, not just going, I need to lose 20 pounds or I need to go run a mile, or I need to drink more water, I need to eat more vegetables, but really identifying who you want to be. So we went through the book called The Miracle Morning. For those of you who've gone through the Miracle Morning, you should be on if you're doing the Miracle Morning Challenge, I think you're on day 14 of 30 of just helping create systems in your life. If you're going through this book, I want to know how you're doing. If you're watching me here, have you implemented anything? Is there anything that you have taken action on that you feel like has helped create a system in your life so that you know that if you do that every single day and you create a habit, you will reach your goals? That is my hope. I hope somebody's doing something. Or if you're just reading with me and you're loving it, then that's awesome as well. But I will tell you, the key to success in any area of your life, the key to success is taking action. So I coach a lot of people in business and I'll say, I'll give you these business tips and tricks, but if you don't take action on it, it's not going to work. You can't just wish for the fat loss. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to get lucky and wake up and I've lost the 20 pounds of fat. You can't just wish to be a marathon runner. You can't just wish for whatever you want. You don't just get lucky. It requires hard work and discipline. But if you follow some simple steps, you can accomplish it too. Not overnight, but the goals that you want to achieve. In this book, he says a very popular phrase that a lot of people use. And he says, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems, right? We've all got goals. Everybody has the same goals that fall in the same category. The people that have the systems and the habits, and they're taking one day at a time, the steps at a time, they're creating the habits, will get to their goals. Other people will not. So the basic idea of chapter 13, we're going to go through chapter 13. Should have went through it yesterday. I didn't do it. I enjoyed my family. We've got some friends visiting from Oklahoma, and so I was very present. Sorry. But chapter 13, he talks about how to stop procrastination by using the 2-minute rule. So I'm going to go through this chapter with you. It's actually really great. I want to know, are you taking action on anything that we've been going through in the book? And where are you tuning in from? How is your Monday going? How are you feeling? Maybe we should start out by saying, what are you thankful for? What are you thankful for? I'd love for you to share below. One thing, because it gets your mindset into gratitude, into thankfulness. If you're having a bad day and you came on here and you're watching, let's shift that. Let's make it a better Monday. And so they're going to talk about the 2-minute rule, or really just the third law of behavioral change. He says research estimates that 40 to 50% of our actions in any given day are done out of habit. And so if we want to see a different result, if we want to achieve a different result, if we're going after different goals, fat loss, let's say, because most of you are here for fat loss, you are going to have to change some habits, right? We've been talking about this. It's not luck. It's not, oh, they're blessed. I mean, like blessed. That's different. I love that word. They're not lucky. It wasn't a magical pill. They actually put in the work. Habits are like the entrance ramp to a highway. They lead you down a path, and before you know it, you're speeding towards the next behavior, good or bad. It seems to be easier to continue on that path when you're already doing it, good or bad. You sit through a bad movie for 2 hours, but you don't get up because you're already there. You keep snacking even when you're already full because it's in front of you and you're going to keep snacking. You check your phone just for a second and you soon find out you spent 20 to 30 minutes scrolling through social media, right? Time suck, but you're already there. In a way, the habits you follow throughout without thinking often determine the choices that you make for the rest of your day. So if you find yourself wanting to change a habit, you've got to look at what you've done to get there, right? If you catch yourself scrolling without learning and implementing, put your phone down, right? If you catch yourself snacking, I say this all the time. If you're not hungry, don't eat. Well, I'm bored, or it's in my office, or we sit down to a movie and we always have popcorn. You don't always have to do anything. You have to make the mental note to go, I'm not hungry. I'm not going to walk into the employee lounge. I'm not going to go out to eat with them because I brought my lunch. I'm going to choose better. But it's like the fork in the road, right? Which way are you going to go? Your choices are going to be like, you've got a better option. You've got the option that's easier. You're most likely going to have to choose the harder option consistently over time to change the habit. He says, each evening there are tiny moments. He said, so he gave the example. I would say each morning you've got a moment. Each evening you got a moment. He says, in the morning you have the decision. Do you hit the snooze button and get up and work out? Do you hit the snooze button and get up and you fall behind in your morning? Or do you get up, that tiny moment? Do you choose? You're at the fork in the road. It's the morning. Snooze button, get up and move my body, right? Fork in the road in the afternoon. I brought my lunch to work. Am I going to eat it and eat the better option I chose, or am I going to go out to eat with everybody else and start tomorrow? Fork in the road. I come home from work and I usually go to the gym. I'm just speaking of maybe this is you. Here's the fork in the road. Do I put my workout clothes on right when I get home so I know I'm going to go work out, or do I grab the remote control and sit on the couch? There are all these little moments that you have in your life and you have to choose, right? And then that's going to keep you going in that direction, good or bad. He says, I refer to these little moments as decision moments. The moments you decide between ordering takeout or cooking your dinner. The moment you choose between driving your car or riding your bike. The moment you choose to start your homework or grab the remote control. These choices are the fork in the road. And so I love this book because it's science, it's data. They do lots of different test trials, and then they ultimately decide what's the better option. And how do we figure out how to make the better choice? He says, here's a 2-minute rule. Even when you know you should start something small, it's easier to start too big, right? I want to eat keto. We dive in and grab all the keto foods, but we have no idea what to do. So then therefore we feel like garbage and we give up. I want to drink more water so that we get rid of all of the soda in the house, and we went cold turkey, and then you are at the office and then everybody's drinking pop and you just binge and you drink pop the rest of the day. Oftentimes we think, well, I want this change, so I've got to dive all in. But when people do that, it usually doesn't create change, right? So he says 2-minute rules. This is a pretty incredible strategy if this is something that would work for you. He says, you'll find that nearly any habit can be scaled down into 2 minutes. Reading before bed each night becomes, I'm going to read 1 page. If you can figure out the habit that you want to create and only do it for 2 minutes, and you do only 2 minutes, consecutively, consistently over time, you will gradually do more. So he says, doing 30 minutes of yoga become taking out my yoga mat. I've just got to take the 2 minutes and take out my yoga mat, and then I'm going to follow that direction. I'm getting off of the how do you say that? Onto the highway, right? The ramp onto the highway. Studying for a class, I have to first open my notebook. I've got to take the 2 minutes and open up my notebook. Folding the laundry, I've got to take folding 1 pair of socks. Running the 3 miles, I've got to go put on my tennis shoes. And he gives you all these ideas. The idea is to make your habit as easy as possible to start. 2 minutes. If you can get the basic start, the 2 minutes, you're going onto the highway and you're already there, you're going to have that fork in the road and you're going to naturally go do that thing because you've taken the 2 minutes to do it, right? To start the dinner, to not phone the pizza, to put on the tennis shoes, to come home from work and put out the workout clothes. You're going to take that 2 minutes and go after it, right? A new habit should not feel like a challenge. You take the 2 minutes and do that one thing, not thinking about, oh, I've got to go do 45 minutes in the gym. No, it's the 2 minutes of putting on the workout clothes, putting on the tennis shoes, and driving to the gym, because you're on that highway and you're going to keep going. This is an incredible story. So he talks more about 2 minutes. He talks about how some people are like, well, that's tricking your brain into doing something. Sometimes you have to trick your brain into doing something to consistently keep going to where it creates a habit. I want to read to you the story of the man. Hold on, let me find it. Okay, listen to this and I'm going to let you go. One of my readers used this strategy to lose over 100 pounds. He said in the beginning he wanted to go to the gym each day, but the thought of going to the gym to work out to lose 100 pounds could be daunting. That is the big picture. The thought of diving into keto or doing, like, the big picture can be overwhelming. So this man implemented the 2-minute strategy. So what he did is he allowed himself, he got up, he went to the gym, and he told himself he was only allowed to stay, well, he did 5 minutes, but he was only allowed to stay at the gym for 5 minutes. He would get to the gym, exercise for 5 minutes, and no matter how he felt, he would leave after 5 minutes. And after a few weeks, he looked around and he thought to himself, I'm already coming here and I'm already here. I've already got the hard part done. Workout clothes, getting in the car, driving there. Maybe that's the 2 minutes. Put on your tennis shoes, get in the car, and get to the gym. He only allowed himself to stay there for 5 minutes. And then over time, he was like, oh, I might as well stay here. And his strategy worked because after a period of time, he ended up staying there. The secret wasn't the workout. It was the 2 minutes of getting prepped and prepared to go. And as he did it, he found himself staying longer, being more, the consistency was already there, and he lost the 100 pounds. And so does this make sense? The strategy of, like, sometimes you've got to trick your brain and create the systems and the habits. And as you do these little things over time, it creates, like, you guys, I can't imagine eating a burger with a bun. This is so silly. But in the very beginning, all I knew was to take the buns off the burgers, the croutons off the salad, or I would grab a lettuce wrap. I would take out the pasta, potatoes, grab veggies or a salad. That's all I did. I started with drinking water, drinking my ketones, I call it my mom fuel, and I would just take the bun off the burger. I would eat so simple. I didn't track everything. I didn't get super frustrated about my macros. But now I've created a habit that I naturally, if I order it with no bun. If we make food at our home, the only time we have buns is if the kids need them that are not in my family, but other people. And I'm like, I don't eat the bun. Like, it's not even like a thought. Like, it's a habit because I don't like it. I feel better without it. I've created a natural habit. Does that make sense? Cola. How would you use this theory with cola? So you're addicted to pop. Well, a couple things. You've got to make it hard. So the entire book is different strategies to get the bad habits out. So where do you find yourself drinking the pop? Do you go through the drive-thru? Do you have it in your home? You've got to make it hard to grab something, right? So we've talked about creating a system to where, like, keeping stuff off the counters, snacks out of your sight. Your kids' snacks need to go somewhere low so that you don't grab them. Stick them in the back of the fridge. If you have pop in your home, get it out, right? You've got to make it a hard habit to get. If you find yourself driving through the drive-thru, find a different route to get to work, right? Or go, I'm only going to have one on Saturday. I'm only going to have one today. Maybe you drink 5. Let's scale back to 1 and sip on it throughout the day until you create this consistency of not getting it. You've got to make the bad habits hard. You've got to get them out of your sight. We're visual people. And so whatever it is you cause yourself to grab it, get it out of your home. Don't have it around you. Have something else in place of it. Put water around your house. If you need flavored water, find some better flavorings to do that. So, and part of it is a decision and a choice, right? And so in the chapter summary, he just says, habits can be completed in a few seconds, but continue to impact our behaviors for minutes and hours. Many habits occur at a decisive moment in the mornings, around lunchtime, when you get home from work, are kind of key moments of, like, fork in the road. I'm going to choose better, or I'm going to be lazy. I don't love that word. The 2-minute rule states when you start a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to start, right? Then you're getting off the road and to the freeway and you'll keep going. So you can't improve a habit that doesn't exist. You've got to start. This book is incredible. my action and my hope is to help you create simple action steps to, first of all, be aware of what you're doing, be aware of the bad habits, and then you're going to have to make a pivot to make a better one over time, right? I started this lifestyle with one meal at a time, one day at a time. If I got frustrated and I ate something and then I got back on track the next day. It wasn't an overnight. It took me about a year to seriously be comfortable with what we were doing. And then trying new things and being a little bit better. But it was the buns off the burgers, the croutons off the salad. I'm not going to eat the pasta. I'm going to grab a salad or some more veggies. I'm going to drink water. There's water all over my home, cups and water bottles. And I actually didn't start working out for a year after we started this journey. And then I was like, I could go to the gym. Maybe I should start walking. Maybe I should start lifting weights. I had a trainer for a little while. It was my sister. So anyways, I hope you're loving the book. I'm always here to help. Please reach out with any questions, whether it's how do I start? Hey, I'd love a foods list. How did you start? I have a whole video of how we started. If you want a basic foods list, post food below. If you want to know about my mom fuel, I've been drinking ketones for 6 years. Post 3 in the comments. It's incredible. I'll do more about that some other time. Maybe I'll talk about it in my stories today. Whatever questions you have, ask me. We answer, well, me and sometimes my husband helps, but it's mainly, we answer all of the questions. Everything gets answered by the end of the day. So I'm always here to help. I hope you have an incredible day. And that's it. So we'll talk to you guys soon. It's okay that you're late. I was late. Listen, it doesn't matter if you're late. It doesn't matter if you mess up. It doesn't matter as long as you get back on track. I did not do a live yesterday. I was late today. And I don't even have to make excuses. Like, it is what it is, right? There's things that came up. I was adaptable. And then I picked back up and came on here. So that is the point of, if you will not fail if you don't quit. If you have to write that somewhere, you will not fail if you don't quit. If you quit, then yeah, you're a failure. That's harsh, isn't it? And I don't like to fail, and I don't like to lose. So when I have a bad day or I have something that hasn't gone my way, I get back up and keep going. So I hope you guys have an incredible afternoon, and we'll talk to you later.